Hello, Deer Valley family. I just want to give you a quick update of where we're at in the budget process. Probably 2 or 3 minutes here, and I'll be continuing to keep you informed as we move forward. As you know, we lost our bond and override, and so we have to reduce about $11 million from the override. And if I'm doing my math correctly, we lose about 1,000 students a year. Because we graduate 2,500 and we bring in about 1,500 kindergartners. So logically, that should we should be reducing 1,000 every year. But we have beaten those numbers pretty much every year the last 3 years. So on the outside, that cost me about $6 million. If we were to go down 1,000 kids, inflation's about 2.8. 2.5, 2.8 million, somewhere in there. Again, the change in the presidential might have a variable on that, so I have to kind of think on the high side. So in reality, I need to come up with about 20 million. So and be ready for that number. What that means for us, you might be thinking, well, everything in the override we should automatically cut because the community said we don't support that. I don't believe that was really the message that they were sending, so I don't really think we should reduce our salaries for every staff member 8%, because remember that was in there. There was also kindergarten was in there. The reduction there of a half day, like it used to be 16 years ago. Each of those types of decisions have consequences. So that grocery list of 8 things that were in the override, I need to evaluate the value and the consequence of each move there. So we're going to follow our normal NST budget process that we've done historically. And so you'll be getting surveys like you normally do, and obviously give us feedback there. And the schedule-wise, it should be very similar as what you're used to as well. So be on the lookout probably for February for another survey coming out from the Budget Committee. We'll integrate some of our questions there on priorities that you might think we should change this, move that, reduce that, etc. So that's all coming in February. It's something that you're used to, but just make sure that you participate in those as well. My whole philosophy, general philosophy on this season for us is to spread out the pain throughout the machine and to not create panic. That's really where I'm going. I have to look at this as a 3-year problem versus just a 1-year problem. So the first phase is obviously just year number 1. We plan on putting or proposing to the board to put the override back on the ballot in November. Obviously, if we could pass that and just have that one separate, it should be able to help us concentrate on getting that passed. And that would be a variable too going forward. So that would be a good thing. So I have to think of it as a 3-year problem until it's not. So that's the latest there. So for reduction wise, I'm probably going to use half of my cash reserves to slow down that 20 million. We're going to probably have a furlough day next year. That'll be a variable. I'm going to have to get an MOU with the association to increase class sizes. Just a little bit, but enough to save a couple dollars there. There'll be some athletic and fine arts and those kinds of things, some impacts there, but not great. And I think if there's any kind of fee structures or anything we change there, that will probably be temporary and based on really the passage of the override in November. Whether those types of things will be permanent or not in particular, especially for fees. I'm going to, obviously enrollment's a huge variable, so all the recruitment of students back into our system that have left is something that you can help me with. Enrollment's a big variable in our machine. We've been able to beat our enrollment numbers that the demographer gives us pretty much every year since I've been here. And it's because we just have such a great program and a great student-led, student-focused system that we do get a lot of open enrollment from around our neighbors. So that's a good thing to know as well. But in general, I'm looking more at the attrition concept versus the removal concept. So if somebody moves and goes back to visit their mom in Alabama and is not coming back, I'm going to move another staff member to take that spot. And so I believe in the attrition concept to get us right size versus the riffing concept, particularly this first year. So I think that's the general structure of where we're headed. We probably will be end of February, early March when the board will start looking at thumbs up or thumbs down. Between now and then, I'll be meeting with them individually and be keeping them in the loop through the Friday update and at board meetings, etc. So I think from your position, you need to think of this as the normal budget cycle, what you're used to, and then we'll just keep you in the loop as we move forward. But the good news is we're making progress on where we need to reduce, cut, or change, improvise, and it looks doable. But my philosophy again is to just more spread out the pain throughout the machine as best as possible and not really focus too heavily on one zone. And that way I won't create panic in the machine. So again, be ready for the surveys. That's how we get our feedback. And we've done that for several years, so you're already used to it. So give us that feedback there. We take it, and we obviously use it when we make decisions. So thanks again for all your help. We're going to get through this together. It'll be a little bumpy, but hopefully we can land the plane softly. Thank you. Have a good week. We'll see you.